Yeah.
Hello, my name is Jack.
My name is John.
We have been researching a local quote-unquote disease that's taking place in Tulare County right now. It's called air pollution. I'm sure you are all aware of this problem and how it's affecting our people, the environment, and Tulare County itself. We chose this topic because we both have personal experiences with this topic, as do you all. We also want people to be more aware of this problem and what's really going on. Our air matters to us.
Air pollution has always been a problem in Tulare County and always will. There are unheard of effects of what could happen due to people that choose profits over pollutants. These people could really care less about our environment because they're getting money for doing it, so why should they? Things like lung disease, birth deformations, etc. can take place because of air pollution.
Let me ask you a question. Say you had asthma and you were offered a job at a factory that does nothing to prevent air pollution, and they choose profits over pollutants. I mean that as they're choosing to make money instead of helping our air. The big question is, would you take that job?
Most of you probably said no. It is for a good reason too. Some of you have the mindset that says, I'll choose pollutants over profits any day, but there is indeed some businesses that are taking place and trying to reduce the amount of air pollution they create.
There's a lot of pollution in this world, and we can't exactly prevent it. We can reduce it though. Things like solar panels, electric cars, etc. can help reduce air pollution day by day. There's one question that not many people know. What is air pollution? What is it made of? What are we actually breathing in?
Producers of air pollution could be dairies, car exhaust, crops, oil spills, factories, dust, pesticides, etc. Some of the gases that are in air pollution are carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, methane, particulate matter, radioactive pollutants, and ammonia. Now, why would we want to take time out of your day for you to listen to this? As I already said before, we want people to be more aware of this problem. We can start by asking you a question that we shall answer. What exactly are the gases inside air pollution, and what are they caused by?
Volatile organic compounds are both toxic and carcinogenic. They're generally caused by human activities such as industrial processes and industrial work, or they can be caused by feces from certain animals. Also, particulate matter comes from volcanoes, forest fires in general, and fossil fuels. Sulfur oxides are the same as particulate matter, but they're rather caused by toxic gases.
Nitrogen oxides are just toxic gases. Carbon monoxide is extremely toxic and is created by fire and vehicle exhausts. Carbon dioxide is not toxic at all, quote unquote, produces death through asphyxiation. It's pretty much greenhouse gas. Radioactive pollutants are produced by radioactivity and nuclear waste. Last but not least, ammonia is emitted through agricultural processes.
There are also scales that people can use to judge what the air quality is daily. It looks a little bit like this. Green being good, yellow being moderate, orange being unhealthy for sensitive groups, red being unhealthy, light being purple being very unhealthy, and violet being hazardous. Hazardous is the worst, and that's when things can really get bad. It causes serious things to happen to your heart, lungs, etc. There are other things to help them find out what air pollution rates are like right now. These are often placed at different schools, factories, and air pollution districts.
One thing that we have been researching inside of our topic, air pollution, is who it affects. Air pollution takes a big effect on children and the elderly. Reason is because the child system inside his or her body is not fully capable of protecting them from illnesses. Also, it affects elderly people because their systems are weakened because as they age, the older they get, the more susceptible to sickness they are.
Exactly.
Air pollution can take multiple effects on people's health. For instance, it takes effect on your lungs, heart, brain, and unborn babies. The reason why air pollution takes effects on your lungs is because compounds inside of the pollution begin to irritate the bronchi. When it irritates the bronchi, the muscles around your bronchi begin to tighten, and then the bronchi starts to produce large amounts of mucus. It then clogs your airways and makes so it's harder for you to inhale and exhale.
Air pollution can also affect the heart because there is a thing called plaque. It is a narrowing in the blood vessel of the heart from cholesterol. When you begin to have an irregular heartbeat, the plaque begins to break off from the walls and starts to fill your blood vessels. When this happens, the plaque begins to stop blood from circulating around your body and is unable to transfer oxygen from here to there. This will eventually cause a stroke.
It can also affect the brain by decreasing blood flow or loosening blood clot. Plaque. More dangerous things could eventually trigger a blood clot. It can also eventually cause a stroke. The lower grade symptoms of air pollution could be headaches and anxiety. It can also take serious effects on the nervous system overall. Over long terms, it really leads to reduced IQ, reduced attention, behavioral problems, and it might be able to have a link to dementia.
Air pollution can also affect newborn and unborn babies because their systems in their body are not fully capable of protecting themselves from illnesses. For example, it can cause preterm birth of a child, low birth weight, systemic inflammation, etc.
What can this potentially do to us, though? What is our future going to be like with air pollution if we don't start to decrease the amount of air pollution? There's a layer in our atmosphere that is slowly but surely fading away because of air pollution. It's called the ozone layer. It's what protects us from the sun. It absorbs the radiation that the sun is transmitting down to Earth and keeps it so it doesn't burn us. What I'm saying is like it's a shield defense for life on Earth.
What if this ozone layer didn't exist? All life on Earth would vanish, along with many types of buildings, cities, etc. Without the ozone layer, there would be absolutely no things on Earth. The ultraviolet rays would destroy every molecule inside of a living thing. One thing that we do have now is ozone holes. It gets centered around near the poles. Unwanted gases such as carbon monoxide, aerosol, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, etc. weaken the ozone layer. Some of these gases and solids are in air pollution.
Gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, and greenhouse gases increase the warmth of the Earth. This is where global warming comes in. Greenhouse gases is a gas that absorbs the radiation, carbon dioxide, and chlorofluorocarbons. The gases absorb the sunlight and solar radiation that come off the Earth's surface, and the gases trap heat and cause the planet to get hotter. Some other contributors to greenhouse gases could be industrialization, agriculture, vehicle emissions, and electricity generations.
When food, water, and ecosystems are exposed to air pollution for a long period of time, it begins to have negative effects. When some of these gases are released into the air, they start to produce more smog and acid rain.
Acid rain is rain, but with acidic components that contain sulfuric or nitric acid that falls to the ground from the atmosphere in dry or wet forms. This includes rain, snow, fog, hail, or dust.
What causes acid rain? Acid rain is caused when sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide are emitted into the atmosphere and transported by wind and air currents. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide react with water, oxygen, and other chemicals to form acids. Then they mix water and other materials before falling to the ground.
Now, what can we do to prevent it or at least reduce the amount of air pollution? We've been looking at multiple things, and one thing really intrigues us. It's called culling. It's like a muffler for your exhaust on your car. You put on the exhaust, it filters that air pollution that comes out and somewhat reduces some of that comes out.
The creators of this amazing culling made it useful too. The culling captures the particles from the air pollution and recycle it, and they turn it into ink. The creator of this amazing tool is Anirudh Sharma. He came up with this idea in 2014. He and his fellow workers have made a pen called Air Ink. It is just like a Sharpie or pen. How they do it and turn it into a pen is really amazing.
Since this invention has come out, it's decreased about 1.6 million trillion liters of air pollution. But even though they're doing this, we're still managing to have problems about air pollution. For example, Tulare County is one of the most polluted areas in the U.S. It's horrible how bad it can get here and how many people it affects in negative ways.
Some ways not to be a contributor to air pollution is limit the amount of fossil fuels you burn in any period of time in the day. Also, another way you can limit the amount of air pollution you contribute to society is get eco-friendly cars or do what the Netherlands did, which was create hydrogen cars which only run on water.
The politicians in Netherlands want to ban any petrol or diesel cars by 2025. Also, they were planning to let people who already have petrol or diesel cars keep them by that time period. In different cities that are trying to limit the amount of air pollution they make is Freiburg. In Freiburg, they have more than 500 kilometers of bike routes. They also use tramways and cheap, efficient public transportation systems. They do not allow people to park near their homes, and if they want to, they could spend about 18,000 euros on a parking space.
In Copenhagen is choosing bikes over automobiles. The 1 mile on a bike is worth around 42 cents, while a mile on a car is 20-cent loss. By 2025, they plan on going carbon neutral. This means they can't release carbon dioxide into the air. It's a good thing, yet a bad thing. Just a bit of it helps plants grow. Too much can lead to planet harm or global warming.
Another city that's trying to limit the amount of air pollution that they make is Oslo. They plan to have 40 miles long of bike lanes, and they're also trying to propose a large zone in their cities that allows no cars. They also plan on removing multiple parking spaces in their city, a free rush hour, around their city, and a free rush hour for motorists.
Why should any of this matter? We could perhaps do some of these things to prevent air pollution in Tulare County because we need it. When I say we need it, we really do need it. We are the second worst city in the U.S. that has the highest amount of air pollution. Things like biking is a lot cheaper, it's a lot better, it's cheaper than a car, it doesn't release air pollution, and it's healthy for you. You get some exercise with it, but it's only local. You can't go really fast and you can't travel really far without it.
It might not be as glorious as a car, but it definitely could help us. Not only you, the whole entire world. Why should a person with asthma possibly be wheezing on the ground because we can't do something to help them? It's a great question that many people that contribute to air pollution should ask themselves.
I hope we set a reminder of what could happen when we do these things around to our world. They can kill us, our planet, and the environment. This should mean something to you, and I hope you are well aware of this problem around us.
We want to help this problem. We want to show you guys ideas that you could do to be able to help this problem. Show you a question that you can't deny. We hope we fulfilled our job and that you go out that door with a better mindset of this problem. Just remember to ask yourself this question. Do you really want somebody wheezing on the ground because of air pollution?
Thank you.
Thank you.